Well, right, because when you get locked up, you actually find out you're pregnant.
Correct.
By a guy named Jimmy, who was a drug dealer at the time.
Correct.
So now you're pregnant with your third baby.
Correct.
But now you're actually in prison.
Right.
During the whole pregnancy.
Yes.
And you end up having your daughter in the feds.
Correct. No, in the state.
The state. Okay, my bad. Well, same difference pretty much.
Yeah.
Right? You're in prison.
Right.
You're in a state prison, and I guess you're chained to the bed while you're giving birth?
Right. Like handcuffed. Both of my feet was handcuffed. Yep. Shackled to the bed.
Because what, they thought you were going to run out with the,
the
baby in the vocal cord?
Right, the police sitting there right there next to the bed like, are you serious? Yeah.
Right. And you're there completely by yourself. Your mom's not there. Your boyfriend's not there.
Correct.
And then after 4 days, your boyfriend comes to take the baby.
Correct.
So you only got to see your baby for 4 days.
4 days.
After giving birth.
Yes.
How did that feel?
I was just like, I couldn't believe, like, oh my God, it was time for me to go home. It was time for the baby to go home. He came and got the baby. And he always came to visit to bring the baby. That was one thing. He was a good dad. He didn't not every week. He was there. I have every weekend of visits. He was make sure he was there, to bring the baby. So I seen the baby. They had a program where I could have kept the baby in jail. He was like, my baby not staying in jail. I'm getting my baby. So he had the baby and brought the baby to visits. And then once I went to the feds, my mother still brought the kids, to come see me while I was there.
Going from the state to the feds, what was the biggest difference?
It was it was bigger, it was more freedom there, It was, the food was better, the commissary was better, the activities was better,
Right, but you're still in prison either way.
Correct.
What was the most violent situation that you went through?
Violent? Well, I really didn't really have no fights or nothing, while I was in prison. When you got money and you shop and you take care of people in jail, you tend to have a lot of people that love you and look out for you and do whatever you tell them to do. You know what I mean? I remember the TV. We had to make a list, the TV, what we was watching. So I love LeBron. I'm an Ohio fan. So Cleveland, so it was the playoffs. They was in the playoffs. They didn't put the playoffs on the roster for TV. And I'm like, oh my God, I was so mad. So I had the girl, one of my little flunkies I used to have in gym. I'm like, go steal the TV cord. So she went to go steal the TV cord, right? At the cable. I'm like, when they wake up in the morning, they gonna be mad. They didn't have no TV for 2 weeks. Guess how they found the cord? They found the cord. It was in the laundry room, and she put it, how the dryer is, and it's like that, the big old silver thing for the fluff to go out. She put it in there, and then she put the cap back on there, and it was a bird in there, and the bird was chirping. I hear a bird here in the TV room, and they took the cap off, and they was like, "Here go the cord right here." So they went to the captain's office. They was like, "Blackshear did it." She was mad because they didn't have the basketball game on TV and this and that. I'm like, no, I didn't, but it was crazy. But yeah. So yeah, I was mad about the TV. So.
Well, even though you were protected, even female prisons are very violent. You also have male COs that end up sexually assaulting some of the prisoners, impregnating some of the prisoners, and so forth. What were some of the things that you saw while locked up?
They had their little relationships with, we were going back to the state. Let me take you back to the state. When I was in the state, I was in the state, and I was in the state twice. Remember, I did the first thing, then I went back. I did. So when I came back, it was this captain. Her name was Captain Smith. She was like, yeah, I remember you, Blackshear. She was like, yeah, you was messing with one of my COs. I'm like, huh? She was like, yeah, the CO, he was underneath investigation. Mind you, we were just cool. Like, I never messed with the COs or nothing. Like, I worked it, like, up in front. Like, she was hating. She kicked me out of my job and was like, no, she need to go to the laundry room. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I ain't never did nothing to this woman. But mind you, I had a ring. I had, like, a 3-key ring. But I had turned the ring around. So I had it when I came from Marysville to the pre-release. So it just looked like a band because you can wear a band. So when I had the ring, some kind of way, one of the COs seen it. So they called me to the captain's office. So when she seen the ring, she was like, oh, this is fake. So she took the ring and they actually took my ring and took it and got it appraised, right? She was like, I could not believe. I'm like, they took it and got it appraised. So my mother had to end up coming to get the ring because they had it locked up in the safe. Like, how you take somebody's ring in a prison and take it home and get it appraised? You could have switched my diamond or anything. Like, shoot for real. But she didn't like me. And it was this, Mr. Pete. I never will forget here. He was so nice. He loved me because, I got big eyes. So he was a Caucasian, nice man, gray beard, nice looking man. He loved me. Blackshear, right? So everybody's be like, oh, Mr. Pete love you. So the CEO, I was like real cool with her. I used to braid her hair and stuff. He used to let her stay. She used to bring me food and stuff in jail. I was, what I'm saying? I was real, I was having my way, And she was like, Miss, she said, I don't know what it is with Miss Smith, Captain Smith, but she don't like you. So mind you, this get real good. So mind you, my friend that was in the room with me, Miss Smith, she came from Marion prison, like another state prison. Then she came to the all-girl prison. So she was messing with an inmate at the prison, right? So mind you, me and her had got into it or whatever, and she was like, cuff up, right? So I already knew she had it out for me. So I'm like, so I had a picture. My friend was like, you gonna have this. This is gonna be your ammunition for Captain Smith. You know what I'm saying? So I had a picture of her, and it was her uncle. I mean, it was her dad that she was dating. That's why they switched her from there. But she didn't know I knew that. So I had the picture or whatever. They was living together and everything with the ex male. So she came and she was like, Blackshear, you going to the hole, you got to cuff up. I forgot they found some chicken. Something they found in my room. I can't remember exactly what it was. And they was like, cuff up. They was like, well, Blackshear, she not cuffing up. I said, tell Captain Smith to come and cuff me. So Captain Smith come in the room or whatever. And she said, she told the other COs to get out, the ones who were trying to cuff me or whatever. And then, I just let her know or whatever. And I showed her the picture or whatever. She's like, let Blackshear, because they put you in a white jumper when you ready to go to the hole. I'm like, and I got my visit tomorrow. I'm like, I'm about to go to the feds. They about to come and get me. I said, you trying to lock me up so, when you in the hole, you can't have no visits. Like, I'm about to be, ain't no telling where I'm going to be, in California, anywhere. So she was like, let her go. So when I showed her the picture, like, she like let her go, like, quit playing with me. So she let me go. They was like, well, she's like, what did she say to Captain Smith? What did she say? They could not believe that I ain't go to the hole. And Captain Smith, just let her go. They could not believe it. They were like, what did she say to her? Don't worry about what I said to her. I got her straight real fast. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say this as someone who has bought diamonds over the years. A 3-carat diamond in prison is crazy. It's just crazy to have a diamond because that could be 30, 40, 50,000 depending on the clarity. So to have something that expensive while locked up, yeah, I don't know why you even do that.
I don't even know. I had the thing. And back then in prison, you can wear your own clothes. So I had like Coogee sweaters, Versace outfits. I used to be like fly like I was at home. So, you know what I'm saying? I remember one time I was walking on the walk jog and it was like a purple silver sequence, not sequence, but satin, like Versace shirt, Versace pants, sharp in jail. And it was so skin tight. And my body is, I was still, thick back then. That they was like, the girl with the silver spaceman outfit come to the captain's office. Like, they called me. They like, oh, we sent in this outfit home. They could not believe the outfit. Like, who let that in there? But long as it was like solid stuff, you can get it. It's like my Coogee sweater was like solid blue, solid red. Long as it was solid stuff, you can have your clothes, being back in the day. But I used to be like sharp, like I was at home in prison. Yeah.
Okay, so by 2005, you're 34 years old. You get out of prison. You were locked up almost 4 years.
Correct.
And your daughter, Jemiah, is 3 years old at the time.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me take you back. Okay, so when I was in FCI in Danbury, they put me to Arlington, West Virginia. That's when Martha Stewart was there. So I was locked up with Martha Stewart, too.
Wait, so you were actually hanging out with Martha Stewart?
Yes, I was. Yes, it's so funny, right? The day Martha came in, I never will forget. So they came in that day. Okay, so I had just got to the camp. So I get there. So you can't go to wherever you're gonna be living at until after you get medically cleared, do all your tests, and everything. So they was like, "Oh, Blackshear, you're moving." I'm like, "They moving me?" They was like, "Yeah, they moving you." And I'm like, "Why?" Mind you, I was in there because I was a jury thief, right? So Martha came in there with some pearls on. So I said, well, maybe they thought I was gonna steal Martha pearls or something, right? Like, why would they move? They said they never in their life ever seen nobody get moved and not be medically cleared. They moved me out the unit. So we in line one day, Martha in line one day. Well, mind you, no, it was crazy. When Martha got here, it was a lady, little Chinese, little short lady. She had like a duffel bag or all this stuff, like everything, food, everything for Martha. They gave her a bag. So I'm like, they put her here to do her time. Because this Chinese lady walked around with Martha the whole time he was in prison. Like, where did this lady come from? Like, she just popped up and she was with her. She went to eat with her, rec with her, everywhere. Lived in the same unit with her and everything. I'm like, they put her there to do her time with her. We was in line. She was like, what is that? Egg. It was macaroni and cheese. I said, oh, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. She thought the macaroni and cheese was eggs. Yeah.
Okay, so you get out in 2005.
Correct.
And your boyfriend, Jimmy, was raising your daughter the whole time. So now you guys live together?
Yep.
Okay. But Jimmy was still selling drugs.
Correct.
So by 2006, the next year, he gets arrested for money laundering.
Yes.
And he was pretty much bringing in all the money at that point?
Yeah, they raided the house and took a hefty amount of money, yeah.
Okay. So now you have 3 kids.
Right.
But one that you live with, and she's only 3 or 4 by this time. You got a bunch of bills. You got to pay for your home, the cars, the insurance, everything else like that. So you decide to do one last lick.
Right.
Walk me through this.
So I'm like, I'm just going to get one coat. That's it. Just one coat. Just one last lick. So, my daughter, I always, she had like custom mink coats and headbands and stuff like that. Like, so I dressed her real cute or whatever. I think she on a little like Christian Dior little skirt, little Christian Dior shirt, her headband, her mink coat. She looked really cute. And I had on my little full length coat. We go to the mall. Go to the store. It's like a plaza store. We in the store, whatever. I'm looking already out of coat, that I'm a kid. So I'm up at the register and I asked her, I said, excuse me, ma'am. I said, do you have any like mink pieces? She said, yeah, they in the back or whatever. So she goes to the back to get the pieces. But I leave Jemiah, the daughter, like right there. And I hurry up and go, clip the coat, boom, stuff the coat. And I'm back standing at the register by the time she come back just that fast. So I get the coat. I use my credit card and pay for the mink pieces. So when I leave out the store, I go, so next thing I know, probably about 5 or 6 o'clock, because this was probably kind of like in the morning, noonish, the time that I went to the mall. They was like, oh my God, you on TV? I'm like, what? They was like, yeah, you on TV and your daughter on TV was still in the coat. I was like, what? I'm like, how do they know? They was like, it say Regina Blackshear. I'm like, how did they know my name? And I said, I forgot. And I said, I used my credit card. Like, I should have just paid cash. But I'm figuring if they showed it on TV, somebody was going to call and get me more money. Like, I know her. That's Regina Blackshear. So after we end up, I called my lawyer. I was like, I'm going to turn myself in. So I called him, and he walked me through. So I walked me through the courts or whatever. I got a bond that day, and I got right back out.
Well, yeah. Stealing is one thing, but bringing your child along for a robbery, now you're talking about child endangerment. And just generally bringing a kid along for a crime as a parent is kind of crazy.
It really is.
When you think about it now, what do you think about the situation?
Like, I cannot believe I took my daughter. Like, wow. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I was in my right mind. I'm like, you don't do drugs. You don't drink alcohol. Like, what was wrong with you? Like,
right, because your face is on the news.
Correct.
The video was on the news, and
Right.
because the daughter is there, you have this public outrage that's happening.
Yes.
So you turn yourself in, you get charged with grand theft.
Correct.
Was there some charges about having the child there at all?
No, they didn't even charge me with the child endanger. I just had just that one charge.
Okay, you got lucky.
Yeah. So I went to trial just to prolong it because I was on federal probation. Parole. So I had to take a plea. So if I took the plea, no, they had said if I get the coat back, that they'd drop the case. But I was going to jail anyway because I violated. If I get a coat back, that's saying that I stole the coat. You know what I'm saying? So why not keep the coat and give me my time and run a concurrent? Keep the coat. You know what I'm saying? The coat gone, you know? So they was like, we'll return the coat. We won't give you the charge. But I'm not returning the coat. Got the money for the coat. Like, I'm going to jail anyway because I violated. So either you get the coat back, I still violated federal probation. So I might as well keep the coat.
Well, right, because you were facing 10 years at that point.
Correct.
How did that feel?
I was just like, I did, the 46 months. Like, it was crazy. I'm just like, the lawyer, I just thanked the lawyer that, that they, ran a concurrent and I was good.
Right, because the judge ended up giving you 1 year.
Correct. Ran concurrent. Yep, the state and federal ran concurrent together. Yes.
You got lucky.
I did.
Right, because the judge could have been like, I'm sick of you, 10 years.
Exactly.
Okay, so now you're back in the feds or in state?
That was the feds, because the fed overruled the state. Yeah.
Got it. So now you're back in the feds again.
Correct.
Was this the point where you kind of realized that you can't keep doing this?
Yep, that was the point that I said, like, enough is enough. Like, with the business with my mom and her bringing the kids, and I was just like, this ain't the life. Like, it ain't that much money in the world, you ain't that much partying in the world, ain't that much going out, ain't that much traveling, you got the money and then you got to pay for these lawyers, so you spending the money on attorneys, lawyers, they want 40, 50,000 federal cases, you know what I'm saying? So you getting in trouble, then you taking your money to get an attorney because you don't want no public defender, you know what I mean? So it's like, it ain't even worth it, like, because 9 times out of 10, you going to get caught. Like, you probably get away, but eventually it's going to be that one time. It's going to be over,
Right, because you get out in 2007. By this point, you're 36 years old. So you're not this young teenager, early 20s, young girl out there. You're now middle-aged. You got 3 kids. And, you realize you can't keep getting lucky with the judge. At some point, there's going to be a judge that's had enough of you.
Correct.
Is going to go send you for 10, 20, whatever years.
Correct.
You're now a repeat felon. And, it's going to catch up at some point.
Correct.
What was really like the final step where you were like, okay, I'm really, really done with this?
When I went back for the violation when I did that time, and I was in there and, just seeing the people that when I got there, they was, same people was still there. And I'm like, and you got a chance to get out. Like, some of these people ain't never getting out. They got 2, 3 life sentences. Like, you got, like some point in your life, you got to be like, it's enough. Like, it's just really just made me look at life like, I want better. Like, I'm talented. There's a lot of stuff I can do, besides, going in the store, stealing these people's stuff,
I mean, what would get you a triple life sentence as a female in prison?
Probably murder.
Okay. So you were locked up with women that were basically, multiple murders?
I mean, yeah, murders and drug dealers. They give you, depends on how much you're getting caught with. They give you crazy Buck Rogers time, yeah.
Right. So eventually in 2007, you get out and you start cutting off all your friends. who you were doing crimes with, and you get back to actually raising your kids again. Were your kids a little bit, I don't know, bitter because mom was just not around?
Um, no, my kids always loved me. And actually, when I got out, I got really, really close to very close to the kids, and then the kids was, they was older, having their life, having the grandkids. And I'm like really, to this day, I'm like really, really close to, the grandkids and the kids. We vacations together. It's family time. Like, I'm really big on family. It's just like, I do everything. We go to Disney, Nickelodeon, Cancun. Like, I do everything with the kids. Like, I'm kid friendly. Like, I'm always doing something with the kids. Like, have all of them. I love my grandkids. So it's just like, I make up with my grandkids that the stuff I didn't do, like, with my kids.
Well, yeah, you said something interesting. You said that you learned you can't put money over family. And I mean, that's exactly what you did. Like, every time you had a child, you said, this money's more important than my family.
Correct.
So I'm gonna let someone else raise the child. They're safe, but still I'm not around because I'm chasing this money. And you just kept doing that over and over again, and then going to prison, which once again separates you from your family. And basically you just kept choosing money over family.
Correct.
Over and over again. And that's a very interesting statement, because it's easy to do. It's easy to put money over family, gangs over family. I've seen that over and over again. People go back to prison until they realize, do I love my gang more than I love my kids?
Right.
Because I keep going back to prison, I keep getting separated from my kids because of this gang affiliation.
Correct.
And it's like, it's interesting to see it, because you make this fast money. And I remember I went through and I actually did some stats once where it seemed like most people I interviewed, for every 1 year that they were making illegal money, they ended up doing 5 years in prison.
Oh, wow.
So if you would ball out for 3 years, you end up getting 15 years. You got kind of lucky, because I feel like you end up getting kind of slaps on the wrists along the way. But a lot of the ex-drug dealers I mentioned and so forth, like, they gave up big chunks of their life for a relatively short run.
Yes.
And I'm sure you've seen this in your life as well.
Yes, I have.
Because your co-defendants, are they still in prison?
No, they're at home.
They're home.
Yep, they're home. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever confronted the guys that told on you?
It's so funny. So when I was doing the documentary for American Trap Queens, I had called, another friend of mine. I didn't know Yellow number. I called. I said, ask Yellow, do we want to be on the show? Because Kenny was like, yeah, I talk. But Kenny, he got MS, so he in a wheelchair. He was still, he wanted to tell the story. He was still, willing to, talk and stuff. But he's like, yeah, I do it. And Yellow, they call Yellow. He was like, no, I'm writing my book. I don't want to be on there. He didn't want to be on there because he didn't want nobody to know to come out, they snitched on us. So, of course, he didn't want to be on there. Like, I told on him, so he didn't want to do it. So that was cool.
I mean, you had a chance to tell on the NBA players, and they would just let you go.
Yeah.
Why did you do it?
Well, because somebody, tell for what? Like, somebody made sure that you was good through your life. Why would you tell on somebody who made sure that you was eating every day to feed your family? Like, that's wrong. Like, you know what you was doing. Like, take your punishment and go do your time. Why bring somebody else down and got a life and a family that's doing well, that helped you? Why would you do that to somebody? Like, why would you take somebody from their kids because you can't do you knew what you was doing when you was doing a crime. Do your time. It's common sense. Like, come on, you can't bring somebody down because you down. Like, it's not right. Like, do your time. Like, it's wrong. Like, I never understood why a person, if they wasn't there and they didn't get caught, why would you tell them? Oh, I don't got nothing to do with them. I'm gonna tell you what I did. I don't know what boom, boom, bam, bam, man did. It's what I did. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to include nobody else in, my bull crap.
Well, at this point, how do you feel about what you did in your previous life? Because this is a little different than stealing from like Walmart or Visa or American Express or a bank, where it's a huge corporation, there's billions of dollars, 10,000, 100,000 really doesn't make a difference. Like, you're actually stealing from mom and pop stores, where these are not huge chains. Fur stores, jewelry stores, it's usually one location, maybe a couple of locations at the most. And if you're taking $100,000, $200,000 worth of product, some of those stores probably went out of business or they had to scrape by.
But you got to realize those stores have insurance. So it's like, I don't think none of the stores actually went out of business because it's insurance. They pay their insurance. So they got reimbursed, the stuff that, we stolen over the years. But, it's wrong because you shouldn't steal. You know what I'm saying? But when you just got money, you got this life, it's just like you don't even be thinking that you're doing wrong until actually you sit down and you realize, like, was I really that bad? You know what I'm saying? Was I really a bad person? Like, you just thinking, because you're getting away with it, you're not thinking, until actually you sitting there in that jail cell and you like, it has to, like, one of these days you're going to learn. Like, you feel like you got more time in front of you. You got more time in back than you got in front of you. Like, you can't make up the time. Like, once the time is gone, you can't redo your life. Like, you just got to stop right here and try to start over to make, the best out of your life,
Well, yeah, because stores do have insurance, but a lot of times the insurance doesn't cover everything. There's a big deductible involved, and sometimes they'll raise your insurance policy moving forward because now you're a bigger risk, or sometimes the insurance company just drop you altogether.
Correct.
Insurance is weird, especially when it comes to jewelry. I remember even with like me insuring like some of my watches, they didn't want to insure me because of who I was.
Right.
And I had to go through different insurance companies and so forth. Like these insurance companies, they want to get their money for free.
Yes.
Right.
As soon as
they don't want to pay out nothing.
As soon as they have to pay out, they take your money. As long as you're paying your monthly premium, as soon as they got to pay out, they want to drop you. Exactly.
They want to drop you.
Exactly.
So yes, they had insurance, but you were definitely harming those businesses. You can't just say I wasn't.
I wouldn't say. I was. Yeah. You could say. Yeah.
Think about it. Now you have your own business. You're making meals and food, right?
Right.
Imagine if you show up and half your bank account is missing.
Right. But nobody want to pay you for all your work you did, right? Stand up, back hurting,
Yeah. Well, Regina, I appreciate you telling your story. Ultimately, you've taken responsibility for what you've done, and you've done your jail time. So this is why you're allowed to tell your story and so forth. But at the end of the day, I feel like this is not something that you'd want to repeat if you actually had a chance to do it.
No, if I had a chance to live my life, I'll rather work a 9 to 5 than commit a crime. Yeah, I'm glad I changed my life. I pray about it every day. Like, I'm so glad that life is, in the past.
If one of your kids or grandkids walked up to you and said, I want to follow your footsteps, but I'm going to do it bigger than you, and I'm never going to get caught.
No. That's why all my kids, the grandkids, I make sure they go to a nice Catholic Montessori school that make sure they're going to have the best education, have a great job when they grow up, and show me that life is more than, hustling in the streets. Like, I want them to do great. Like, be a business owner, do your own thing. No, we're not going there. No, it's not going to happen.
Look, I get it. You grow up and you think that everyone who became rich all did it through crimes or inside information or some sort of fraudulent activities. But, you start to get older and you realize that the most successful people actually run real businesses, actually do good business, pay people when they're supposed to, they pay their taxes, they're honest with people, they build actual real relationships that make millions of dollars over the years. The people who are hustling, ripping people off, scamming and so forth, they'll have a little run and then it's over.
It's over, yes.
People find out, they don't want to work with them, they go to prison, something violent occurs,
right?
Because you end up robbing the wrong person.
Correct.
And ultimately, I don't know anyone that really gained a lot of wealth by doing those types of activities. Everyone that I know that got rich, they did it the right way.
Correct, right.
And that's, I think, that the main lesson here is that, like, yeah, you can make that fast money. You could hustle and get some rental homes and, go to some nice events and so forth, but then you'll end up doing prison for a few years.
Right.
Where you're making nothing.
Exactly.
And you don't even have your freedom.
And you know money locked up, exactly.
A lot of times when you add it all up, if you say, okay, I made $100,000 for a year, but then I spent 4 years in prison, you look at 5 years, $100,000, you could have done better working a minimum wage job.
Exactly.
and being outside.
Which right. Family is it's priceless, you know?
Exactly. Well, Regina, I appreciate you telling your story. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Okay.
Peace.